I ended up just having the game on in the background for a good chunk of it, and it was horrendous. And I know we talked about that earlier. There's nothing on the New England side of this, and maybe that part of the answers the question that I'm going to ask. Anything there with Rodgers last night? Because he looked good. He was moving well, and he had that touchdown pass in the corner past Christian Gonzalez where it was kind of that laid out. Gonzalez tried to cut the route, and it looked like a vintage Aaron Rodgers throw. Now, I know you're out on COVID, toe boy. But he looked good last night. Anything there, or is it New England?
No, I more than willing to give him his flowers. I picked him last year to win the division. I didn't know he's going to pop his Achilles 4 plays in. I'm out on him this year, though. I am not going to allow a Will Levis gift basket from the Titans last week and playing what I think is a bottom 5 team in the NFL who got a good win against Cincinnati, but I don't think is going to win a whole lot of games. Drake May, be on alert. You're going to be playing soon.
They put him in late in that game, and he just got demolished.
They're not a good team. I don't let the Bengal win fool you here. The Bengals start slow. We stupidly fell into that trap. New England's not good. I don't think they're going to win more than 5 games. Good game. Still hasn't thrown for 300 yards since 2021.
He was close. Was he 280 or 270? Yeah, 281.
Of all the things I went on my parlay, I did a little parlay and the under. My little parlay, I had him over 150 for plus 200. Like, that was an easy thing to see coming. I knew New England would try to slow the run down. It's New England. Good game. Give Rodgers his flowers. He had a good game. Jets fans felt good yesterday.
Yeah, it was a big primetime game.
I'm not getting over my skis any more than that.
Well, I think the biggest thing was he looked very comfortable rolling out and moving out of the pocket.
He scrambled a couple of times, too.
I mean, he's not, taking,
Who's their elite pass rusher in New England? I think we need to be putting the opponent here.
No.
Definitely
but it wasn't, it was just he was comfortable doing it. As opposed to...
He physically looked the part.
Yes.
He looked like
I think
old
that was the
Rodgers.
thing
He
in week
didn't hesitate.
one.
He didn't hesitate. He didn't try to hang in the pocket.
Yeah.
If it opened up, if they collapsed him inside and it lost contain, he was more than happy to roll out and take off.
That was an adjustment.
And so there's no hesitation about the Achilles or the ankle anymore.
San Francisco and Tennessee both got pressure on him in those games.
And he looked uncomfortable when it happened.
Kirk Herbstreit throwing just an absolute shot at Nate Hackett yesterday was hilarious. Funny. He knows how to call plays now that number 8's playing.
Yeah, it looks a little bit better now, huh? Looks a little bit better.
Or was that a shot at the rest of the media who was taking shots at Hackett?
He would probably tell you that because he doesn't want to be involved in controversy. I heard it as, this guy's not very good unless he has Rodgers, quarterback.
Yeah, your point is 100% true. And guess what? You know who they play next week?
I don't actually. I don't play the
New York Jets play
Donkeys.
the Denver Broncos at home.
They're going to win again.
They're going to win
should
again.
be likely 3-1.
I think after that they got another easy one, and then they got a challenge.
Then you get Minnesota at home, or Minnesota in an international game. So I don't know how you feel about Minnesota.
That's the London game.
So their stretch after that, they go Minnesota, Buffalo at Pittsburgh.
See, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and I'll put Minnesota in there now. We'll see what they do this weekend against the Texans. But I'm circling that, saying, if you do that against those teams, you start to get me back a little bit.
Well, I think now. I feel like, okay, there's no more thinking about the injury after what I saw last night of him.
And that was my takeaway, too.
Comfortable, moving around. I mean, yes, he's 40 years old. He's not his old self, but there wasn't any hesitation. He didn't not do something that he should have done because of he's trying to protect his foot.
Didn't look skittish. Like, there's been times where him and Kirk Cousins, I think, early in the year have looked scared, like kind of scared in the pocket, uncomfortable, not planting their feet the way that they should when they throw. So that was the only thing. Like, everything you're saying on New England, spot on. And maybe part of the reason he was so comfortable was because New England sucks and they couldn't get a pass rush on him.
3 points.
They scored. I mean, their offense was just horrendous. That was unwatchable football. But that, to me, was the only thought to have a takeaway of if Rodgers can find any semblance of the form he had, then it gets into those conversations people were having a year ago. This should be a decent defense. They got okay weapons. They can run the football a little bit. And if you could find that with Rodgers, maybe there's something there.
And he was throwing it to everybody, too. That was the thing. It wasn't just Lazard or 1 or 2 guys. He threw it to everybody.
He had 5 guys with 3 or more receptions. His targets were pretty evenly. Look, Conklin's not a bad player. Lazard had a nice little night for himself. You don't trust Mike Williams stay healthy. I still don't really trust Lazard. Garrett Wilson's a good player. He had 33 receiving yards.
And they haven't figured. They're still working on it. And Rodgers said that in one of his post games because he talked about a couple of just timing things with Lazard. That's old instinct. and he said, "Wait till I get that with 5."
I just don't know if I really. Certainly, you can build chemistry more with Garrett Wilson. I just don't know if I trust those targets enough
Totally fair.
in the AFC. Now, their bread and butter should be Braylon Allen and Breece Hall.
Running the football.
And again, I think the opponent here matters a great deal. It's a good night for him. It was a good night for any questioning of his health. Somebody said Kirker's got the Kirkland AC or Achilles rehab special, and Rodgers got the Gucci one. Like, there was a lot of that going around last night because he did. He was rolling out of the pocket. But I think he has to, because Tennessee got pressure on him, and San Francisco got to him and put pressure on him in that first game. So the interior of that Jets offensive line, we'll just see what that is going forward for them. But a nice win for them. They took care of New England. The under smashed.
Yeah, the big question, Jets, one of their starting offensive linemen went down.
And in the game, yeah.
And we'll see how serious that is.
It's a good reminder, too, of how big of a turd that product is on Thursday Night Football. Last week, we had Tua with the concussion and Miami getting blown out.
It should not exist.
Could be another one next Thursday.
Next Thursday's Dallas and New York Giants.
It's
Danny Dimes versus Dallas. I mean, just no thank you.
It's here for the rest of our lives. It should not exist. It's terrible for those athletes. It's terrible for the players. And largely, how many memorable, good Thursday Night Football games can you remember in your life? Can you think of one? I'm sure somebody at the text line is going to
Somebody
throw
will
one
come
out.
up with one.
But my point is, you think you hit you with that question, and you're like, Justin Fields and the Commies, 11-10.
Yeah.
You just think of bad games in your mind.
I'm thinking the first thing I picture, and I don't even remember, I think it was a Thursday night game, wasn't the Seattle-Arizona tie where they kept missing and everybody got hurt? Wasn't like a 6-6 finish? Wasn't that a Thursday night game?
I thought that was Sunday. But
was that a Sunday game?
Maybe that was Thursday.
Well, it was a bad product again, but Rodgers the only talking point out of it. He did look good. He looked comfortable. He had a really good night last night.